Anywhere out there in a world full of 8 billion people, there's a tiny group who's looking exactly for what you're selling. Your ideal customers. Find them and you find success in business. Finding our ICP helped us generate over $123,000 selling high-ticket services. Okay, and that's not some new marketing hack. David Ogilvy, marketing legend, said it decades ago, the better you understand your customer, the better your advertising.
The consumer's not a moron. She's your wife.
I've had about 10 great ideas in my life, advertising ideas. Which isn't many, it's more than most people have had.
So forget Claude, forget AI, forget automations for a second, okay? Investing at least 4 hours in finding your ideal customer can make you over $400,000 back. Well, at least that's what it did for us and our clients in our marketing agency. More than that, to be honest. And in this video, I will show you exactly how it works. Now, before I show you guys our internal docs that we use within our agency, I want you to understand one thing real quick. You need to have offer clarity before you even start thinking about your ideal customer. So you want to write down exactly what your deliverable are. For us, this is something like an Amazon coaching, okay? Amazon coaching, for example, this can be anything like whatever you're selling. For us, Amazon coaching, what is the outcome? Build a successful Amazon business. Build an Amazon business, okay? What's the benefit of building an Amazon business? More financial freedom, and so on. Now, what I see a lot of people do wrong is they start, because they've read one copywriting book or so, okay, and they think they David Ogilvy, they start advertising the benefit, okay? So the ads go something like, yo, if you're looking for financial freedom, if you're looking for more money, if you're looking for extra spending income, if you want to be your own boss, but that's exactly what you shouldn't do. Why? Because that's not your ideal customer. You need to convince them first of why building an Amazon business and an Amazon coaching, lastly, would get them to their ideal outcome. So to their benefit. So what we do is we pitch the deliverable, okay? We're looking for people who are keen to get our deliverable, so Amazon coaching, or at least building an Amazon business, meaning people who are already more sold on what we're actually selling. And these are our ideal customers. Now let's take into the exact document that I hand every single client before we start working with them. If I'm not selling my own offer, I want my client to fill this one out, because my client generally is the offer owner and he has way more customer knowledge than me, because he already been selling that offer and he's looking for us just to help him scale, okay, with advanced marketing strategies. So what I want to give him, first of all, is a full ICP doc, okay? He should, first of all, describe who his ideal customer is and really picture them, their age, their job, their profession, their income level, their living situation, and so on, okay? Then he should walk me through a normal day of their life. He should tell me exactly what work looks like in their life, Amazon related, okay? I want people who are already a bit sold on the business model, okay, who are more in market. What's the single most repetitive tasks? I want to know exactly where they're getting their information from and what's wrong with that information, why they're skeptical of his product, what the number one most painful problem is. I want to go through their exact operational pains. I want to get in their head. Can you see how detailed this is, guys? Because this is gonna lay the entire foundation for marketing. And I'm telling you, in my journey of generating more than $500,000 for our clients, this has by far been the most valuable hours that I've ever done, like just reading through what our client did or just composing this document and designing our ICP profiles, okay? Emotional view. What's their thought before they reach out to you? What keeps them up at night? What do they complain about when they're having a beer with their friends, okay? The shift. What's the milestone they want? The outcome. This is what we wanted, right? What have they already tried that failed? The aha moment, okay? How do clients find you? Why do they pick you? What's your ICP? What's special about you, your product, okay? Describe your favorite client you ever had, the one you want 100 more. And then I want my client to record an entire voice note digging into all these different pain points, desire points, and describing me his ICP, because he's been the one who had direct contact to these clients, because obviously he'd been coaching these clients and he knows exactly who his ideal customer is. The ICP doc is one way to get a lot of good information about our ideal customer. Okay, we're still in the research phase, by the way. I will show you right now in a second how we test this with ad campaigns. Okay, pretty sick thing here. Now, the next thing that we want to do is watch sales calls. If you have something, if you're selling high ticket, obviously, right? It really depends on the product you're selling, but if you have sales calls and you can actually see your ideal customer there, why not watch them? You're literally seeing people, you have hours of material and the volume about your ideal customer, about people who bought, people who didn't buy, and their specific reasons and conditions. This is the perfect thing. I'm taking a lot of marketing angles from sales calls and from objections and angles that I hear there. So this is one of the biggest things. Watch sales calls every single week. I would highly advise you to watch sales calls every single week. When you have no information about your customer, what you can also do is a type form. Especially if you have some following on Instagram or on YouTube, you can do a community post and you can put a type form link in there and just, I'm about to prepare something special for you guys, especially if you have no information about your customer. I just want to know how I can help you the best way. So feel free to fill out this free form here. And they just gonna fill in what they need help with, what their biggest outcome would be, and so on. So you could literally ask them the questions that I asked our client over here directly in a smooth way. Okay, so sales calls, type form, and now a pretty crucial thing that I want to show you live is Reddit. So I love Reddit. I'm using Reddit so many times, okay? Reddit, just to get comments from there. Then I'm using these comments. I'm doing something like a comment pin ad where he pins the comment and they see the comment in the first seconds. I do something like a green screen ad where the Reddit comment is behind them. And in Reddit, it's just perfect. I will show you why. Yes, Jens, we're in Reddit right now, and the only thing that I just searched for is what is the best way to find suppliers, because I know this is a common pain point for people doing Amazon and so on. And I see the exact words that someone uses who comes to Reddit looking for advice. I've used Google, ThomasNet, trade shows, Alibaba, and more. I had never luck. Where do we find suppliers? Seems like that information is usually kept and it's hard to discover. It seems like there are 100 small people out there. Unless I met them at the treasurer, is there some sort of clearinghouse for all of these guys? So what I can simply do, I can literally write an ad that starts with something like, so you've tried to find suppliers, you probably use Google, ThomasNet, trade shows, Alibaba, and more, and let me guess, you had never luck landing one. It just feels like that information is getting kept secret, and you just don't know where to find them, okay? Well, that's exactly what happened to me, and I could continue with my ad. So Reddit is really a gold mine, okay? You just search for a keyword, then you can even read through the comments. You can see what they're talking about, Alibaba, and so on. And we can instantly leverage these angles in our ad copy. Yeah, guys, exactly. And then the next thing that I always like to do, I really like to create these ideal customer profiles, like once I have all the information acquired, okay? And generally, what we do, we're gonna end up having something like 2 different ICPs, 2 or 3 different ICPs, okay? Let's say we're gonna even have 3 different ICPs to give you guys some complexity over here. My ICP number 1 could be someone who's, let's say, working a 9 to 5, and who knows Amazon works whatsoever, knows Amazon works, who's working a 9 to 5, knows Amazon works, wants more income. Okay, this is generally an ICP I stay away from. I just wanted to show it to you for the purpose of this video, how to test bad ICPs like this one, for example. Okay, like if you strongly think this might be your ICP, you should just test it, and I will show you exactly how to do that right now. Another one could be exactly someone who's already someone who's selling on Amazon, who's struggling, okay, selling on Amazon. And ICP number 3 could be someone who's researching, close to start, okay? Now, what I want to do is I want for every single ICP, so let's pick, for example, ICP number 3 real quick, somebody who's researching. I want to write down exactly what their pain points are, okay? I want to write down what their desires are. I want to write down what conditions they are in. And I want to write down macro conditions, okay? Macro conditions is everything that's happening in the market. And guys, again, don't underestimate these. This is gonna be the fuel for your entire marketing copy. And ideally, you really want to put in the work. You go to Reddit, look for pain points. So what pain point did we find here when we read through that Reddit comment? Now the problem was finding, finding the right sources, finding the right platform, or information overload. They just feel overwhelmed. There's so much information, they don't know who to trust. Overwhelmed, okay? What's their desire? What do they want? They want a clear roadmap, okay? These guys, they want clarity, clear roadmap that tells them, I start here, then that's the next step, and then that's the next one, so step-by-step roadmap. What conditions are they in? They are excited to get started, but they feel a bit anxious maybe. Okay, they think, oh, should I really take that leap? You really want to get into their head. Okay, should I take that leap and start my business? Like somebody who's in the research mode. If you have a business right now, think about it, how it was when you were still researching. I still know it when I was researching about marketing agency. Like, holy shit, I didn't start for months because I was just researching. And you can say something like, yo, you only need 80% of the knowledge. You don't need 100%. And then macro conditions. What are the macro conditions that they are in right now? Macro conditions, this is generally something that's going on in the US right now. And what I like to say is untapped market of small brands who need Amazon sellers. Okay, for example, so this would be a market condition, a macro condition, how we call it as well. And I want to create some urgency. I want to say something like, yo, by the way, in 2026, there's a massive market full of small brands who would love to partner with Amazon sellers, but people simply don't target them because everybody goes to all that mega brands, all that oversaturated brands. And if you take advantage and hop on this train early enough, you can take advantage of this, be one of the first ones on the listing. Okay, gets a bit too specific, but you get the point here. And then what I want to do, I want to do this for every single ICP, okay? Then I've got my ICP, and I want to build a certain campaign structure that allows me to test which ICP is making us the most money, okay? So how to turn everything that we've learned in this video into real cash. And we do this by running ads. So we're gonna have one campaign, okay? This is our testing campaign. This is the one that you need to do to figure out your ICP. And then if you have 3 ICPs, what you wanna have is Adset 1, ICP number 1, then you wanna have Adset 2, ICP number 2, and then you want to have Adset 3, ICP number 3. Now, why do I do different ad sets, and why don't I slam all the different ads in one single campaign? Because we've personally seen that the targeting still works at the ad set level, okay? So even if you don't select your audience there, even if you go broad, your creative is gonna be your targeting. And if I group my creative by persona, I'm gonna select the targeting at the ad set level, and I'm gonna keep the algo from jumping around, okay? So what I wanna do is, you have defined your ICPs over here, okay? And then the next thing is simply, you wanna test, okay? And you want to allocate at least $250 a day on all of these ad sets. If you don't have $250 a day, do less ad sets, okay? But per ad set, you wanna do an ABO and spend $250 a day. Why do we do an ABO? Because we want ad set budget optimization, because we want to test per ad set, okay? And then you're generally gonna have something like 10 to 15 ads in each of these ad sets. Now, what's specific about these ads? Every ad is talking to ICP. So my ads in this ad set 3, are talking to ICP number 3. My ads in Adset 2 are talking to ICP number 2. My ads in Adset 1 are talking to ICP number 1. So let's think about who was ICP number 1. 9 to 5, we saw it do something like, yo, if you're working a corporate job, but deep down you know that e-commerce is one of the biggest opportunities to build a second income right now, this would be the main angle I would leverage in Adset 1. Adset 2, completely different. Adset 2 was ICP number 2, somebody who's selling on Amazon. If you're already selling on Amazon, okay, so you're probably starting to get suppliers right now, angles like this, okay? And then you want to test. And after 3 to 4 days of data, depending on the funnel that you run, you want to keep it around for 3 to 4 days. You're going to look at your ROAS, okay? And then you want to look at your ROAS per ad set, because you've spent the exact same amount on all of these ad sets, and you want to see which ad set, compared with your funnel and with your offer, has actually made you more money. Now, if your messaging is completely different, I generally like to change landing pages. So I like to have landing page number 1, landing page number 2, landing page number 3. If my messaging is very different, especially here with corporate job, and then we've got Amazon sellers, you can do different landing pages and send them to different landing pages. But yeah, you really want to look at your click-through rates. You want to look at your offer conversion rates. You want to look at all the metrics in your funnel. And after 3 to 4 days, you're going to see which ad set is going to convert the best. And we generally typically see ad set number 2, like with people who are already in the market, convert the best, but you really need to test there. And then what I would simply do is I would double down on that ad set in future campaigns. So in the future, when I'm going to run a campaign, I found my ideal customer. You can celebrate, okay? You can go outside, grab a beer with your friends, or don't not do it, grab a coffee ideally. And then the next thing you want to do is do a campaign, do another ad set. And this time it's just ICP number 2. And then you want to slam like 15 to 20 ads in there. And then you're just going to test, because you found your ICP, the ICP that gets you good ROAS. Because what can be, maybe ad set number 1 got you something like a, 2x ROAS. Ad set number 3 didn't work. It gets you a 1.3 ROAS. And let's say ad set number 2, clear winner with something like a 4.1x ROAS. Okay? And then you know, oh, ad set number 2 is exactly what I want to double down. That's exactly how you find your ideal customer. Now, if you like what you've seen, guys, then feel free to follow me. It's simon.asman on Instagram, or book in a free strategy call with me if you want us guys to implement this entire ad strategy, your funnels, your marketing system, everything, even your sales. We can do this for you as well. Then book in a free strategy call with me directly, growinginfo.com, and we can see how we can help you guys. And if you like what you've seen, feel free to like, subscribe, because I think I'm going to drop a massive banger here soon. So with that being said, guys, take care.